Hello students, welcome to the POL.SCIENCE of class 11 arts, and today we will proceed with the remaining part of the chapter the Constitution of India. So in the previous class we completed understanding about the definition of constitution, then we read about its needs or necessities regarding the constitution, why we need a constitution, where 5 points were discussed. Then we read about the framing of the Indian Constitution, which was first held in the year 1946 under the Cabinet Mission, and this Constituent Assembly spent almost 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to prepare the Constitution, and it finally came into force on 26th of January 1950. Then we read about the Constitution of India, why it is called the lengthiest constitution in the world, because of the reason that it contains 295 articles, 12 schedules, and in the form of book it is almost 250 pages. So today we will start from the remaining part of this chapter. So let us proceed then. So regarding the Constitution of India, it is the supreme law to be accepted and respected by all citizens as well as institutions of the country. So regarding the Constitution of India, it is supreme in nature. That means all the people living in a country should abide by the constitution of that particular country, and not only the individuals but also the institutions must accept and respect the constitution as a supreme law. Then the Constitution of India is a blend of flexibility and rigidity, as it is federal in form but unitary in spirit. And regarding the Constitution of India, it is being rightly said that it is flexible as well as rigid. In terms of flexibility, if any laws are to be enacted, that can be done through the amendments in the Indian Constitution. And in terms of rigidity, some features of the Indian Constitution are like that it cannot be changed. It is rigid in nature, and it is both federal in form but unitary in spirit. That means united in nature. Moving on to the next point, the main federal features of the Indian Constitution are written and flexible constitution. Then distribution of powers between center and states, supremacy of judiciary in existence of bicameral legislature. So discussing about the features of the Indian Constitution, these are 5 in number. Starting from number 1, it is, that means the Constitution of India is written in nature, and number 2 is it is flexible in nature also. Along with its written form, it is flexible in nature. That means any amendments can be done regarding the necessity of adding any law in the book of Constitution, because the Constitution has to be up to date with the time. So for that also amendments are necessary. Now talking about number 3 federal features of the Indian Constitution is the distribution of powers between the center and states. In a democratic country or in a federal country, it works according to the distribution of powers between the central and states, along with central and states to the lower hierarchy also, such as the local level of government that comprises of the municipality or village level. Then talking about number 4 federal features is the supremacy of judiciary. That means the judiciary is supreme in nature, and everyone has to respect and obey the judgments passed by the judiciary. And number 5 feature regarding the federal features of Indian Constitution is that it has the existence of bicameral legislature. That means two chambers of the house are present in bicameral legislature, two houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So these were the 5 federal features of the Indian Constitution, starting from written constitution, flexible constitution, then comes distribution of powers between the center and the states, then supremacy of judiciary in existence of bicameral legislature. Now moving on to the next point, the framers of the Indian Constitution have borrowed a number of provisions as per the suitability of the nation from different countries, like the British Constitution, the American Constitution, the Constitution of Canada, the Constitution of Ireland, the French Constitution, etc., along with the Government of India Act 1935. So we know very well that the Indian Constitution is also known as the borrowed Constitution. And why it is known as the borrowed Constitution? Because of the fact that many new ideas were taken when the framers in our country were framing the Constitution at that time. They were really inspired by many ideas. So regarding that ideas which actually impressed our framers, what they did, they borrowed a number of provisions, whatever the points they felt it was good and which they felt that would help if it is included in the Constitution of India. So many provisions were taken from the other constitutions also, like the Constitution of Britain, Constitution of America, followed by Constitution of Canada, Ireland, France, etc. So all these provisions were taken from the other countries' constitutions. So for that reason also our constitution is known as the borrowed constitution. And regarding the next point, as of 2019 there have been a total of 103 amendments in the Constitution of India. That means as of 2019 it was 103, but as of 2020 there have been a total of 104 amendments in the Constitution of India till date. So remember the number of amendments, it is very important. That means changes that have been made in the Constitution of India, and that will fall under the flexibility of the Indian Constitution. Because of the flexibility of the Indian Constitution, so many amendments have been made regarding the changes that are to be done in the Constitution of India. So till date it is 104 amendments till date. So with this we have come to the end of this chapter's discussions on important points. We started from understanding about the definition of constitution, then the needs of the Indian Constitution. Then we read about how the Constituent Assembly spent almost 3 years, that is approximately, exactly not 3 years, but it is around 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. And it took almost this much of time to prepare the Indian Constitution, and finally it was adopted on November 26, 1949, and exactly after 2 months, that is on 26 January 1950, our Constitution came into force. And regarding why the Constitution of India is the lengthiest constitution in the world, it is for the reason that it has 295 articles, 12 schedules, and a book of more than 250 pages. Then we read that the Constitution of India is a blend of both flexibility and rigidity. And regarding its federal features, these are 5 in number, starting from number 1, written constitution, number 2, flexible constitution, then distribution of powers are divided between center, states and the other lower constituent units, then supremacy of judiciary is always there, and existence of bicameral legislature is also there. And regarding the Indian constitution, which is also called a borrowed constitution because of the fact that many new provisions or many provisions are borrowed from the British constitution, the American constitution, the constitution of Canada, Ireland and France. For that reason also it is known as the borrowed constitution. And lastly, we discussed that as of 2020 there have been a total of 104 amendments in the Constitution of India. So with this I will wind up today's topic. Hope that you have understood the important points that are related to this chapter. Thank you.